afternoon. Today I'll be moving on to the next module, module 3, transient behavior and initial conditions. What is this transient behavior and initial conditions? So this is one of the easiest question. And say once you know the methodology, it becomes very easy for you. Okay. Okay, right. So what is this transient? Transient is nothing but, let us say, if a capacitor is there, then you switch. Let us say if there is a switch, or let us say a voltage source is there, and a switch is there, and let us say if there is a capacitor. When the switch is closed, what will happen is suddenly it will not charge. Gradually it will charge. Slowly it will charge. Afterwards it will become. So this one, this is nothing but steady state. We call it as steady state. And this one, how exactly it is reaching that is steady state is nothing but at t is equal to infinity, what is the value? That is nothing but steady state. And how exactly it is going to reach the t is equal to infinity is nothing but transient behavior. Transient, that is the to reach the maximum value, what are the variations we are seeing? That is nothing but transient behavior. So transient behavior, and what is this initial condition? Initial operation. During switching operation, what and all is taking place? So therefore, what and all the initial conditions and why do we need to study? All those things we are going to discuss today, right? Some of the key points in this topic I'll discuss. And solving method of solving the problems is very easy here. Not much calculation is involved. Okay. Some of the points you should remember. So any network can be represented. Any network can be represented in the form of integral differential equation. In the form of integral differential equation. Okay, right. Integral differential equation is nothing but, for example, let us say I have a voltage source. I have a voltage source connected with a resistor, an inductor, and a capacitor. Let us say. So V is the voltage, I is the current, R, L, C. So therefore, V is equal to what? V can be represented. This voltage is nothing but equal to V is equal to R into I of t. I of t, varying with respect to time. R into I of t plus L into di of t divided by dt. L into di by t dt plus 1 by C into integration of I dt. We can write it like this. That means this is in the form of integration as well as differentiation. So any network consists of, what is that? Represented in the form of a integral differential equation. That means the equation consists of both integration as well as differentiation. Integration as well as differentiation is known as integral differential equation. Now, if that is the case, to solve this, let us, this is okay. This is second order, you will get it. If you differentiate once again, this integration will get cancelled. You will get a second order differential equation. Okay. To solve the second order differential equation, you are going to get, what is that? Two constants, you will get it. Two constants. To solve the second order. Let us see if you want to solve nth order differential equation, nth order differential equation, you are going to get n number of constants. N constants you are going to get. N number of constants you are going to get. To obtain these constants, we need initial conditions. So in the initial conditions we are going to use. So whenever we are solving this any differential equation, basically we are going to have two things. One is what? The solution is equal to y of n, or y we can write, or I of n, whatever it is, v of n, whatever it may be. Y of n is equal to two things we are going to get. One is complementary function complement CF plus complementary function and particular integral or particular solution. Particular PI we call particular integral or particular solution we call it as. That means this complementary function represents the complementary function represents transient behavior. complementary function represents transient behavior, and particular solution represents steady state behavior. Okay. While solving the so that means if you are want to find out the transient behavior, if you solve the complementary function of the, let's say it is a nth order, we need n number of constants. To obtain this n number of constants, we need n number of initial conditions. So initial conditions are required to solve the differential equation, and while solving the differential equation, we are going to get constant. Those constants are obtained using with the help of what is that? Initial conditions. So that's what you should understand from this one. Okay. This is the basic concept we should know. And what is this switching operation and some of the notations what we are using? Let us say transient behavior, if you want, let us say this is a switch K. Let us say you are closing this switch. Sir, what is the big in this? That is just if you close the switch, what will happen? It's not like that. See, let us say I have a voltage source. If there is a capacitor, just if it is a resistor, doesn't matter. If you close it, the current will flow through. But it is not like that. Suddenly, it is unable to charge. It will take its own time. So, how it behaves? So that we are going to study. Now, whatever. Let us say if you are closing the switch at t is equal to 0. If you are closing, the t is equal to 0 is the reference. The time before switching operation, we call it as t0 minus, notation only. T0 minus represents before switching operation. And T0 plus, we call it as after switching operation. So T is equal to 0 is the reference. T0 minus represents what? Before switching operation. T0 plus is nothing but what is that? After switching operation. T is equal to infinity. T is equal to infinity is nothing but T is equal to infinity is nothing but what is that we have? T is equal to 0 plus, T is equal to 0 minus, T is equal to 0 plus, T is equal to infinity is nothing but steady state. Steady state nothing but finally what is the value? That is T is equal to infinity, that we call it as steady state, we call it as. That means a T is equal to 0 minus, a T is equal to 0 minus, the voltages, current, charges, all those things are represented like this. V0 minus, I0 minus, Q0 minus, so on. These are the values of the voltages, currents and charges before switching operation. And T is equal to 0 plus. T is equal to 0 plus. Voltages are represented as V0 plus, I0 plus, Q0 plus, so on. Okay, right. And T is equal to infinity, we can write it as V infinity, I infinity, like that we can write it. So these are the notations what we use it while representing the switching operation, before switching operation, after switching operation. If it is a closing switch. Let us say if there is a switch like this, let us say I have a circuit like this. One switch is there, capacitor. Let us say this opening switch. If it is, this is a closing switch, that means it is going close. Okay, it is opening now. So T is equal to 0 minus is here. T is equal to 0 plus, and this is T is equal to 0. So how exactly this will behave? So before switching operation means initially the switch is closed. Afterwards it is opening. Initially it is open. Afterwards it is closing. So how exactly it is going to behave? So these things we are going to study. So in one of the examination, he has asked this question also. Okay, right? So around why the initial conditions are required? In one of the examination, we have to write around 4 or 5 points. Okay, right. The first point is, why do we need? The question is like this, around 4 mark, 3 or 4. Why do we need initial conditions? Okay, right. The first point, what you should do? So, why do we need the initial condition? The initial conditions are required. Why do we need? To evaluate the constant. To evaluate constants during solution of equations. During solution of differential equations. That is the first point you should remember. Second one, initial conditions are required while solving to find out the constant while solving the differential equation. How many initial conditions are required? Depending upon the order. First order, we need only one initial condition. Second order, we need two. Nth order means nth order differential. To solve the nth order differential equation, we need n number of initial conditions we need. That is the first point. Okay, second one, using this initial condition, we can predict the behavior of the system, predict the behavior or type of the response, predict the type of the response, what kind of response, it is damping or increasing or constant, whatever it is, so that we can predict it. Third one, predict the type of the response, and we can study the behavior individually, the circuit behavior. Okay, so the behavior of the individual elements to study behavior of individual elements. We need initial conditions. Individual elements. Okay, right. Next, fourth one. The fourth one is okay. To study the behavior of nonlinear switching circuits. So, for all these these are the 4 points you should remember, and because of these things, we need initial conditions. That means initial conditions are required because of the 4 reasons we can say. These are the minimum 4. It can have many advantages are there. The first one is what? To solve the differential equations, we need initial condition. To solve the differential equation, why do we need initial condition? So while solving the differential equation, the solution of a differential equation consists of 2 things. One is complementary function. Another one is what is known as particular integral or particular solution. The complementary function represents what is that? Transient response. And while solving the transient response, we are going to get the constants. Depending upon the order of the differential equation, that many number of constants. That means for nth order differential equation, we get n number of constants. To evaluate those constants, we need initial conditions. That's what the first point. Second point, to predict the type of the behavior of the system response, what type of output you are going to get, that we are going to find. To find that, we need initial conditions. To study the behavior of the components individually, that means let us say if a circuit consists of inductor, capacitor, each component how they behave. To understand that, we need what is that? Initial condition. So now what is that? To study the behavior of the nonlinear switching circuits. Nonlinear switching circuits are there, some of them like in diodes, transistors and all. So how exactly they will behave? So to understand all those things, this is one of the examination question what we have seen, right? Now let us go for how exactly each component behaves individually. Okay, right. Let us particularly we have 3 components: resistor, inductor, and capacitor. How they are going to behave? That we are going to study now, right? So one by one we shall study. Let us go for the first one. First one is the resistor. That is very simple one. No much change. Okay, right. So first one, transient examination question we have seen once or twice. Transient behavior of circuit elements or passive elements. First one, resistor. How exactly resistor will behave while switching? Okay, right? That means switching means the switch is opening, if open switch is closed or closing switch is opening. So during that time, how exactly? Let us consider a circuit like this. Let us say I have a voltage source and a switch like this, it is closing and there is a resistor. If R is the resistance, V is the voltage, I is the current. Okay, right? If that is the case, one minute. Focusing ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಬಿಡೋಣ ಮೇಲೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, right. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now, how exactly this circuit will behave? So, resistor is a very simple one. So, as soon as the switch is closed, current will be flowing through this one. IR is equal to V by R. Directly will get the voltage. So, as soon as the switch is closed, current is flowing through the resistor, and therefore I is equal to V by R. You will get it. That is a simple one. That is how. So it means what will happen is when the switch V is closed, R is, as soon as the switch is closed, current is flowing through that, and the current flowing through that is given by what? IR is equal to V by R. Okay, because a resistor cannot store any energy, and this is only dissipating device, hence it is not an issue at all. You can easily find out the response. Now let us go for the another element. Second element, what we have is inductor. Inductor. Let us say if there is an inductor, how exactly it behaves? Let us say I have a voltage source, a switch, closing switch, and there is an inductor. Just ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ okay. Okay, right. Let us say we have L is the inductor, V is the voltage applied. Let us say K is the switch. And what will happen? What the voltage across this one? I'll call it as VL. Okay, right. So VL is equal to what? VL is equal to IL into. Once the switch is closed, what will happen? Voltage across it is given by VL is equal to IL into. L into DIL by dt. L into DIL by dt. Okay. Voltage across the inductor is given by what? L into current flowing through this one is IL. L into DIL by dt. For DC, what will happen? Let us say if you are applying a DC voltage. If you are applying a DC voltage, what will happen? This V is constant. V is constant means what? V is constant means IL is also constant. IL is also constant. So differentiation of constant is what? 0. Therefore, VL is equal to what? 0. So So voltage across. So any circuit, if the voltage is 0 means what? Well, let us say I have a resistor. Sorry, I have a resistor. If it is a short circuit, if it is a resistor means we have some voltage. If it is short circuit, that means what will happen? Voltage is what? 0. That means if the voltage is 0 for DC, now what is the behavior of the system? So behavior of the system is for DC, it acts like a short circuit because voltage is 0. Therefore, it acts like a what? Short circuit. So for DC, inductor acts as a short circuit. Inductor acts as short circuit. Once the switch is closed, it acts like a short circuit. For AC, how it exactly behaves, that we shall check it out. So for DC, it acts like a short circuit. Now, for AC, let us see how exactly it will behave. So, current through the inductor is given by. So now we shall go further. So we shall try to find out the how exactly it behaves for t is equal to 0 plus as well as t is equal to infinity for AC. So what is that? We can write it. So current flowing through, inductor is given by current through inductor is given by current through inductor is given by L is equal to okay 1 by L into, so you transfer to here 1 by L into dVL by dt. And IL is equal to, sorry, not this, not dVL by, because what is that we have? VL is equal to L into DIL by dt. Therefore, IL is equal to integration 1 by L into integration VL dt from minus infinity to t, we can write it. This can be written as, that means current flowing through any inductor is given by this one, general equation. So IL is equal to 1 by L into integration from minus infinity to 0 minus VL into dt plus integration from what is that we have? 0 plus 2t VL dt. Split that. So minus infinity to t can be splitted as what? Minus infinity to 0 minus, that is nothing but before switching operation, and 0 plus to t is after switching operation. Okay, right. So now what will happen? IL is equal to so this is not, the first term is nothing but initial condition before switching operation. We call it as what? IL is equal to IL of t, we can write it as IL of t is equal to this is nothing but initial condition. Initial condition is nothing but equal to what? What do you call that? IL of 0 minus plus 1 by L into integration from 0 plus to t VL into dt. At t is equal to 0 plus, what will happen? At t is equal to 0 plus. Substitute that. IL 0 plus is equal to IL 0 minus plus 1 by L into integration from where to where? Sorry, this is 0 minus to t. Okay, right. Minus infinity to 0 minus to t. 0 minus to t is equal to 0 plus. Okay, this is nothing but during switching operation. VL into dt. Carefully observe that IL is equal to a current flowing through an inductor is from minus infinity to t is into VL into dt, we can write it. And this can be splitted into minus infinity to 0 minus is before switching, and 0 minus to t is nothing but after switching. So when t is equal to, or t is equal, this can be. So before switching, we call it as initial condition. That initial condition, that is initial current. Initial current I will call it as IL0 minus. IL is equal to IL0 minus plus Z. What is that we have? 0 minus to t we can write 1 by L into 0 minus to t VL into dt. Okay, right. Now, what is this? This t is equal to 0 plus. T is equal to 0 plus. What is that you can write? Put t is equal to 0 plus. IL 0 plus. This IL 0 minus already I have taken. 0 minus. So this is nothing but switching operation during switching period. But switching will not take much time. Therefore, this value will become equal to 0 because switching time is switching duration is very small. Very small. Therefore, what is that we have? This will become 0 because 0 minus to 0 plus. That is during closing the switch, that value will be equal to what? Because 0 minus to 0 plus, because switch is closed in a very short time. It will not take much time. See, this is the one that is closing. So this is t is equal to 0. Before what will happen? After what will happen? Duration between what will happen is between 0 minus to 0 plus is what? Very less time. So that's why since the 0 minus to 0 plus is very less time, the value will become 0. Therefore, IL0 minus is equal to IL0 plus is equal to IL0 minus in case of inductor. So therefore, what is that? You can write it. We can say that current will be remain same before and after. So therefore, what will happen? Current will, there is no change in the current at all in the inductor. Then the inductor acts like a open circuit. Inductor acts as what? This we say that inductor acts as open circuit. OC. T is equal to 0 plus. T is equal to 0 plus. T is equal to 0 plus. So before and after, current remains same. So inductor acts as open circuit. Okay. So before and after, let us say, so initially if the doesn't carry any current at all, then what will happen? After that also it doesn't carry any current at all. Therefore, it will become equal to 0. Let us say initially if it is charged. Let us say if the inductor is having some current, or because inductor and capacitor can store the energy. Current energy stored in inductor, as we said, it is L into di by dt. Sorry, of Li square. Energy stored in a capacitor is of CV square. We said that means inductor and capacitor are the storing devices. Resistor is a dissipating device. That means if at all, if it is charged, let us say if it is having some current, initial current is there, then it behaves like a what is that? A source. That means if it is initially it is not, we don't have any charge at all, what will happen? We call it as, if it is 0, 0 minus is 0, after that also it will be 0. If it is initially it is having some current, then it becomes a current source. So if it is already, if it has initial current, if it has initial current, it becomes, what is that? It becomes a current source. So it behaves like a current source. Okay, so that's how. That means that for DC it acts like a short circuit. For initial condition it will be what? Open circuit. Right? Now, how exactly capacitor? This is the switching behavior of an inductor. Now, how exactly capacitor will behave? Third one, capacitor. Okay, let us say a voltage source and a switch, and there is a capacitor V. This is C. This is K. Okay, right. So I is the current flowing through this, and VC is the voltage. VC is the voltage. Now, current flowing through any capacitor I is equal to C into dVC by dt. dVC by dt. Current flowing through any capacitor is given by C into dVC by dt. Let us say if you are for DC, what will happen? For DC, what will happen? V is constant, therefore I is constant. So therefore VC will also become constant. So VC is constant, what will happen? VC is constant. Differentiation of a constant is what? 0. So therefore IC is equal to 0. IC is 0 means nothing but what? Current, when the current is 0. Current is 0 means what? It will be open circuited. Therefore, for DC, it acts like an open circuit. Capacitor act like an open circuit. Capacitor act like an open circuit. Now, for AC, how it will behave? That I want to study. Right? So, for AC circuits, what is that we are going to have? Voltage across the capacitor is given by voltage across capacitor is given by voltage across the capacitor is given by VC is equal to, from this itself, VC is equal to 1 by C into integration from minus infinity to t. VC is equal to 1 by C into integration from minus infinity to dt and IC dt. So this is your voltage across the capacitor. Okay, this can be split as what? VC is equal to 1 by C, same method, minus infinity to 0 minus IC dt plus integration from 0 minus to t IC dt. That's whatever the terms before 0, we call it as initial condition. This is initial voltage, we call it VC 0 minus, we call it as. So therefore, VC of t is equal to VC 0 minus plus integration from 0 minus to t IC dt. Okay. After switching operation, at t is equal to 0 plus, that is after switching operation, at t is equal to 0 plus. What is that? We can write it VC 0 plus is equal to VC 0 minus plus integration from, oh, sorry, this one term I left out, 1 by C into 1 by C or L? 1 by C into 0 minus to 0 plus IC dt. Once again, switching operation will not take much time. This value will be equal because switching is from where to 0 minus to 0 plus, it will consume less time. Switching time is very small. Since switching time is very small, what will happen? Since switching time is very small, that second term will become equal to 0. So therefore, VC 0 plus is equal to VC 0 minus. Okay, right. So now what is that we can say? Voltage will be remain same before switching operation as well as after switching operation. After switching operation. So therefore, this act like a short circuit. This act like what? Short circuit. Before switching operation, after switching operation, it acts like what? Short circuit. So if the voltage remains same, the capacitor act like what? Short circuit. So this is the behavior of the resistors. Okay. Let us say if it is initially, if the capacitor is having some charges. So inductor, what has happened? Initially, if the inductor is having some current, it became a current source. Now let us say if the capacitor is initially charged, it become a voltage source. If it is initially if capacitor has some initial charges, it becomes what is that, voltage source. There it become current source. So this one we has asked in one of the examination for 6 marks. What is the behavior of the circuit passive elements during switching operation, during transient condition? During transient condition. So this he has asked in the examination: resistor, inductor, and capacitor. All the three we should do it. That's it. Based on this, so I'll give one table for all the summary of all these things. The table is enough to solve all the problems in this chapter. Just simple table I'll give. That also will be later on. I'll shortcut the. Okay, this table, if you are remembering it, that is more than sufficient. How exact? So whatever I did, no, that complete thing I'll give it here. So T is equal to 0 plus T is equal to infinity. This is steady state. So this is immediately after switching. After switching. Okay, right. Let us say circuit element is resistor. Let us say resistor. A T is equal to 0 plus also it is a resistor only. A T is equal to infinity is also it is a resistor. Everything remains same. Okay, right. Let us say you take an inductor. Let us say I have an inductor L. A T is equal to 0 plus, it becomes open circuit. It becomes open circuit. And if you are taking up to infinity, at infinity it becomes a short circuit. Short circuit at infinity. And let us say if the inductor is having some charge, let us say initial current I naught. As I said, it become what is that? Current source. It become current source. Okay, right? At infinity, we can write this way. This is the equivalent circuit. Current source with short parallel. Similarly, we have a capacitor, let us say. This is a capacitor. And this, because if this is open circuit means what? This is short circuited. Short circuited. And this will become open circuited. And this is your capacitor. Now, let us say if the initially capacitor is having some charges, see, having some charges, voltage V, then it become voltage source, plus minus voltage source. And equivalent circuit at infinity is what is that? We have voltage source and there is a open circuit. So this is the equivalent, what is that? Table, summary of the whatever I did so far today, right? So now if that is the case, sorry, all these things are required. So majority of the times only this much, this is enough. This one, and this one, and this one. That is more than sufficient. Only 4. So therefore, we can remember like this. At 0 plus infinity LC. So this is open circuit, short circuit, open circuit. This much is more than sufficient to solve the problems in this chapter, right? Now let us do few problems. Now that's all. That's all the concept of this entire chapter. So what we do here is, now we will solve different kind of problems in this chapter, right? So keep this one in mind. Right here in the one corner. So what is that we have? T0 plus T is equal to infinity. LC. So first one is, what is that? Open circuit, short circuit, open circuit. Okay. if you remember that much, that is more than sufficient. Whole table is not required. Very rarely we find. So if at all, if it is a, what is that? Capacitor will become a voltage source and inductor will become short circuit. What is that? Current source. So if you remember that much, it is more than sufficient to solve the problem. So this also is asking the exam. So that means whatever the thing I did today, in this we have can expect two questions. One is why do we need initial conditions? That one also they'll ask. They are asked in the examination. And behavior, transient behavior of the circuit elements, resistor, inductor, and capacitor. These things. Now we shall start with an examination problem itself. So July 2019. July 2019, there is a question. In the circuit shown in figure, find I di by dt, d squared I divided by dt square at t is equal to 0 plus. At t is equal to 0 plus. That's what he has asked. Only t is equal to 0 plus. If he is asking t is equal to 0 plus, even last column is also not required. Only this first column is enough. Open circuit, short circuit. That's what is required. Okay. The circuit is given. Okay. And for the circuit shown in figure, let's say I have a circuit like this. Okay. So this here is a closing switch. Very simple one. It's very easy to find. Problems are very easy. First, you should remember those concepts. I of t. R is equal to 10 ohms. L is equal to 1 Henry. And C is equal to 1 microfarad. How would they are behaving? Okay, right? Let us say the switch is closed at t is equal to 0 plus. T is equal to 0. When switch is closed, at t is equal to 0. One minute. Okay. When t is closed at t is when switch is closed at t is equal to 0 plus, what is the equation? V is equal to this is the switch K. Switch K is closed. Okay, right. V is equal to R into I of t plus L into di of t divided by dt plus 1 by C into integration of I of t dt. So this is the equation. Okay, right. At t is equal to 0 plus. At t is equal to 0 plus, what will happen? At t is equal to 0 plus. See the table. Inductor act like a open circuit. Capacitor act like a short circuit. Okay, right. So therefore, what will happen? At t is equal to 0 plus minus. Switch is closed and resistor is there. Inductor act like a open circuit. Capacitor acts as a short circuit. This is open circuit. This is short circuited. Now, what is this current? I0 plus. I0 plus is, since it is open circuited, I0 plus is equal to 0. That's it. I0 plus is equal to 0. Okay, right. Now, what is that? You can write it. So this is nothing but equal to I0 plus, we got it. Now what you should do is V is equal to R into I of t. So initially this will become equal to, so this voltage plus this voltage plus this voltage. So therefore this is short circuit, that means this voltage will become equal to 0. Therefore substitute in this equation. So what is that we get it? V is equal to R into I of t at t is equal to 0 plus, at t is equal to 0 plus, t is equal to 0 plus R into I0 plus. Now you substitute the value. This voltage will be equal to what? This short circuited means V is equal to, Vc is equal to 0. So therefore what is R into I0 plus L into di by dt 0 plus, we can write it. Substitute in this equation. Substituting in 1. Okay, right. Now what will happen? And what about this one? This one will become equal to 0. So therefore, what is that? You can write it. V is equal to R into I0 plus is what? 0 plus I0 plus into 0. And what is V? V is equal to, V value is given 10. 10 plus L is what? L is 1 into di by dt 0 plus. Therefore, di by dt 0 plus is equal to 10 amperes per second. That's it. This kind of questions will be asked for 7 marks or 8 marks in the examination. 7 marks, many times we have seen this question and repeated 6 or 7 times in the exam. Okay, right. Now, take this equation number 1. Differentiating equation 1. This is voltage V is a DC. Therefore, differentiating of a constant is what? 0 is equal to R into di by dt, di of t divided by dt plus L into d squared I of t divided by dt square plus 1 by C into I of t. At t is equal to 0 plus, 0 is equal to R into di by dt 0 plus L into d squared I divided by dt square 0 plus. Substitute all of them. So what will you get? 0 is equal to R. R is how much? 10 ohms. 10 into di by dt 0 plus is what? 10. Di by dt 0 plus L is what? 1 into d squared I divided by dt square 0 plus. Therefore, d squared I divided by dt square 0 plus is equal to minus 100 amperes per second square. Because d squared, t square is there, right? So we'll get it. That's all. So that will be 7 marks question in the examination. Okay. So minus 100 amperes per second square. So therefore summary we can write it as what? I0 plus is what? 0 amperes per second, 0 amps. di by dt 0 plus is what? 10 amps per second. And d squared I divided by dt square is what? At 0 plus is minus 100 amps per second square. That's it. That's how we should do the problem. It's one of the easiest problem that we have seen in the examination, which was asked for 7 or 8 marks in the examination. Okay. Anyhow, we'll continue in the next class.